It's Mr. Jim here with Story Station, brought to you by Words Alive. Today, we're going to read Little P. You see the book? A little bit of glare. Look at that. It's by Amy Krouse Rosenthal, illustrated by Jen Krouse, and it's brought to us by our friends at Chronicle Books, who've allowed us to read it aloud today. So, first things first, before we get started, we're going to do our two little things that are important to get us ready for reading. So first, we're going to start with getting our body ready, right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our circles, remember? And we're going to put them up here so we can focus on the book and what I'm reading, okay? Then we're going to take these C's and we're going to go right behind our ears and think, oh, I got to be listening really closely to what Mr. Jim is reading. And then I want you to come here and take this little imaginary switch and click on that voice box, because during today's session, I'll be asking you some questions so we can engage as we read. That sound good? All right. So let's now sing our little story about books to help us get acquainted with all the different parts. Sing along with me if you can, okay? So we're going to start with the titles on the front. The titles on the front. Hi-ho, biblio, the titles on the front. The author writes the words. The author writes the words. Hi-ho, biblio, the author writes the words. The illustrator draws. The illustrator draws. Hi-ho, biblio, the illustrator draws. And the spine binds the book. The spine binds the book. Hi-ho, biblio, the spine binds the book. And now we're time to read. And now it's time to read. Hi-ho, biblio. Now it's time to read. Are you all set? Good. All right. Let's start. And again, the title of the book is Little P. And it's by Amy Krouse Rosenthal, illustrated by Jen Krouse. So two talented ladies do the words and the pictures together. They collaborate. So we see from the front a little vegetable on a big spoon. You see what that is? No, it's not an olive. It's a pea. Let's see what this little pea is all about. This is the story of Little P and Mama P and Papa P. So let's see. This must be Little P here. This is Papa P, the biggest one. And this is Mama P. Little P was a happy little guy. He liked to do a lot of things. He liked rolling down hills, for example, super fast. What do we call those when we roll and turn somersaults, right? He liked hanging out with his pea pals. Now, where do we think they are hanging out, huh? Right, a playground, maybe in the neighborhood. They're at their school, they're swinging, and then they're playing hopscotch. He liked it when Papa P came home at the end of the day. Papa P would fling Little P off a spoon high into the air, and Little P would scream, "Again! Again!" There's a kind of like a teeter-totter, using the spoon to launch Little P off the end of the spoon. At bedtime, Little P very much liked snuggling with Mama P and hearing stories about what Mama P was like when she was a little P. So here we have a picture of her telling the story, and in the bubble, we've got Mama P talking about when she was a little girl. See the little ribbon in her hair even on top of her head? But there was one thing that little P did not like. What do we think that could be? Candy. Can you imagine not liking candy? Well, that's what you have to eat for dinner every night when you're a P. Candy, candy, candy. Well, why do you think P's have to eat candy in this pretend book? Because we know it's fiction, right? Well, maybe it's so they can get sweet and taste delicious. And now we have all the examples of the candy that he did not like. On Monday, he had to eat red candy. On Tuesday, he had to eat orange candy. Well, on Wednesday, there was yellow candy. What flavor do you think yellow candy would be? Lemon, right. On Thursday, purple and pink polka dotted candy. Well, Friday was striped candy. Saturday was swirly candy, maybe a piece of taffy, right? And on Sunday, it was rainbow candy. Little P hated all of it. See this little symbol with circle with the red through it? That means he doesn't like it. Well, if you want to grow up to be a big, strong P, you have to eat your candy, Papa P would say. Well, if you don't finish your candy, then you can't have dessert, Mama P would say. How many pieces do I have to eat? Eat 5 pieces and you can have dessert. 5 pieces, he whined. 5 pieces, they chimed. So, when your parents say to do something, right, you have to do it. So he has to eat 5 pieces. And you can count with me while he eats them, okay? You can help me do the numbers, and I'll do what little Pete thinks of it. 1, yuck. 2, blech. 3, blech. 4, blech. And then he's finished. 5 pieces of candy. Now, can I have dessert? Yes. Now you can have dessert, said Mama Bear, and Mama P, and Papa P. Little P couldn't wait to see what it was. Now, let's think. If he doesn't like candy, what do you think he'd like for dessert? Spinach! Squealed little P. My favorite! And you see a big bowl of spinach right there. Now, do you like spinach? I don't blame you. It can be tough to eat when you're little. But little P picked his dessert plate clean. And you know what that means when we say that? That means he ate it all up. Yum. Yum. Extra yum. And they lived happily ever after. Well, sometimes books like this, they can be fun because it gives us a view of the opposite way of looking at things, right? So if I were to ask you, what would you rather have for dessert, spinach or candy, what would you say? I'm not surprised you said candy. Well, I've had my lunch and I'm ready for my dessert. And look what I'm having. A bowl of spinach. Thanks for checking in with us today at Words Alive Story Station. And thank you for all the fine folks at Chronicle Books for letting us take part in reading Little P by Amy Krouse Rosenthal. Thanks, everybody.